women, and he said he was going to confront Lumberjack. And now he's up here pivoting. So I'm sorry, Snacks, don't you ever in your life say that you're a defender of women when you sat here and lied. You told these women that you were going to help them. You told them that you would champion for them. That's what you said. So don't sit up here and lie. Now you're pivoting. Are you going to call Bougie a liar? Because we sat there on the phone with you when you told us that you saw messages and you said he was wrong. You know what else he said? You know what else he said, people? You also said that he knew that he was married. He wasn't separated from his wife. And there was even a point in a live. Where his wife was telling him to come to bed. And that he was up. He was supposed to be at his daughter's birthday party. And you told him to go spend time with his kid. So don't get in my queue no more. You can delete me after this. Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of y'all protecting this fool. That's what you keep doing.
Wait, Ma, didn't you say that his backup account had the same password as Login Strong?
He talked about how he knew that that Login Strong was something that they talked about. He talked about Logan's and that Login Strong, and there was a video. And he also had access to Shanna's accounts, and he saw messages between them. He knew that this situation was going on. And instead of rolling him and standing up for these women, you're trying to have personal vendettas and saying, oh, there's nothing nefarious about what's going on. Are you serious right now? So we're going to keep going here. This man has said that he was married, right? Don't address him anymore. He can stay unblocked, but if you can say you're going to stand up for women, then stay and stick true to that. You said it, you kept your word. You told Bougie that's what you were going to do, and you didn't do it. You played yourself tonight. So let's keep going. This is him absolutely saying that he's been separated for more than a year. That was a lie. He hasn't been separated more than a year. He's still with his wife. So
now Bougie lied? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no. You had a conversation with us. Yeah, you sure did, and you don't want to stand up for women, and that's fine.
You got the receipt of Bougie lying? Listen, Snacks, I'm not even.
Now he's calling Bougie a liar after you told her he believed her. Stop addressing him. Go on to the next one. I'm done. Flip-flopping. I don't care about the video. I just saw you had commented on it, and that means I have a leak somewhere, which means I don't care about it because it doesn't stop what's happening. No, it's about me. I could tell people I'm legally married. Now you lost me. So the video is about you? No, it's about me. I've been separated, but I don't want my personal info known. A lot of these women didn't even know he was married. Remember, Curl, I didn't even know he was married. Remember, a few of these women had no clue. And when they found out, so let's go back. Do we have another screenshot?
Yeah. Which one did we just read?
We just read the one where he said he was separated. He was talking to another woman who's not on the app. Because he says it's no one's business. I talked to this girl, Chaos, literally, briefly. That was a week, really, and we both came to the conclusion that neither of us were in a place for that, and better as friends. And that's how we knew to get one another. And I learned all this personal stuff about her.
I know that Chaos did not know. I know it for a fact because I was there. We found out at the same damn time.
Now, I'm not here to judge anybody. If you're separated and you want to date and do all those things, then that's fine. But according to these women's testimony, and I'm going to get to another woman's testimony here. She's not here right now, but she gave me and Jesse permission to tell her story. So at the beginning of the conversation, and this is the part that I believe and we believe is where you have these denying attacks, these reversing the roles of victim and offender and all of that. Hang on one second, y'all.
Mom, when are you coming back in?
Bree, we've already said that Shanna's not credible. She's a fucking piece of shit, Bree. I'm not calling Bree a piece of shit. I'm calling Shanna a piece of shit. We do not agree with... This is all stemming from Shanna anyway.
Yeah, he already confessed to the relationship, so that's neither here nor there.
So the reason why this is important to post these is because it is Lumberjack himself admitting that he does tell women that he's separated, right? Because everybody was like, well, these women were messing with a married man. They should have known better. But here's the thing. First, he lied to them. Why would he lie to them and tell them something that was untrue? Well, to get them into the relationship because he knew they never would otherwise, right? And of course, he played the sob story. The other thing in these screenshots is that he talks about how he got all this personal information because, again, what he would do is he would get personal, intimate information about these women in their lives, right? And it was like a form of blackmail, like, hey, I got something on you. And, you know, that's part of that victimhood, right? So you're making them a victim, number one, by lying to them and engaging them into something without them knowing the truth. Okay. Then when these women would find out and they wanted to be done with it, when they found out that he was lying, then he would pursue them further. He would push it. And that's where the boundary has been crossed.
So in some of these women's stories and the person that I'm talking about, Lindsay and I were contacted months ago by Lumberjack. He called us on the phone. Matter of fact, he sent in a live. This was right after he was interviewing that Hudson guy that was running for president. He said, Lindsay and Maud, I need to talk to you about something. Call me. So after the live, he ended up calling me, and then I called Lindsay, got us on the phone, and he told us that when you see this girl, block her out of the lives. Now, we didn't know this girl personally. We didn't know anything about her. We thought it was very strange, and saying that this woman was lying on another conservative guy, and saying that this was that she was crazy, she was on drugs, don't trust her, she's causing a lot of issues, things of that nature. Now, her story begins where she had been in an abusive relationship, and we have heard Lumberjack before tout himself as this know-it-all person, that he can help you with your situation, and let's have these Bible studies, and let me tell you about the Lord and all of these things. And he did the same thing to her and was trying to counsel her through her bad situation. And to understand, I'm going to reduce you for a second, Linz, to understand the psychology with a victim and a perpetrator is that every a victim's response is different, especially when they've experienced some sort of trauma. And with that, when a woman believes, when they go to a man for safekeeping or sort of safe harbor, they believe that line is already drawn, that there is already a boundary that exists, and they believe that person won't cross it. That's why they go to them, right? So going and saying like, hey, I'm having this issue, and being counseled with, right? And then what it turned into is, kind of playful banter back and forth. And then the part that comes in, and Auggie, you're going to come up in a second here. The part that comes in here is that she was asked for pictures. Now, unfortunately, what happens with a lot of these women, in her case especially, she deleted a lot of these things, and that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for a woman to, and hold on, I'll put you up a screenshot here so that I can corroborate what I'm saying. A lot of these women will just want to not even, they won't even want to say anything. They'll want to erase the memory of it, especially if they've been great, right? If they say that they were great, a lot of times they don't want to go to the hospital. They think it's their fault. They start having second thoughts like, hey, did I do something wrong? These women are misunderstood. How many times can do we have great victims or victims of any sexual harassment, try to just cut off communication, or they may reciprocate due to the fact that they are afraid of the person retaliating if they do not comply, right? So, and then they start doing the victim blaming type situation. When these women did not reciprocate, and in her situation with this woman, she did not reciprocate, and what ensued after that was an all-out assault to discredit this person. And so now we have the reverse of the victim and offender. Now he's the victim, and now she is the offender. She was going around lying on him and causing issues. How dare this woman do this? Because she didn't send you any photos? She did not send any photos, and I think in most of these cases with these women that were involved, they did not show, they did not send any photos, but they were asked over and over again, and when they tried to deflect to something else, they were met with some form of hostility outside of the app. So in some of the women's cases, and including hers, it would be like, hey, I'll just pop in and say, hey, and then, I get harassed after that, or these fake accounts are made. And this very well could have been in Shanna's instance, but I didn't see, I don't know. Shanna's not here to defend herself, and plus, she was not being truthful with us in the beginning, but we're just showing the pattern of behavior here, right? So like I said, in this woman's case, she was absolutely, when we heard her story and we heard that this happened to her, all of a sudden people started unblocking her. She was castigated. She was cast out. She was a conservative. She was thrown out. She wasn't listened to. He was running around. He came to me and Lindsay and told us not to mess with this lady, to block her out of lives.
She was crazy, unstable, all that stuff.
Right. Go ahead, Liz.
So I'm going to bring this up because I'm getting really pissed off at people saying, oh, well, they used the Me Too backdrop and blah, blah, blah. So this is the backstory on the Me Too movement. It's not just about sexual abuse. It's also about sexual harassment. Okay. Actually, that's listed first. And it talks about how men in positions of power silence victims. And so that's where the Me Too comes from. So all of you running around acting like, oh, well, they don't know what the Me Too. No, you don't know what the Me Too movement is about. You don't know. Do your research, damn it.
Listen, you can, listen, this ain't about you. If you want to put your own shit out there, do it on your own life. I really could care less. And this is classic behavior. I'm going to expose all the married women because he's being exposed for his behavior. Sure. And
also really quick, that's another deflection, right? That's another attack on other people. But this is the other thing. Any of you that have sat here and attacked these women, have denied them, have called them promiscuous, whores, or any of that shit, you all, and those people that will not stand against this, all you conservative men that are all about protecting women, right? You're complicit and you're co-signing onto this shit. So just remember that. You are literally actively co-signing, condoning, and saying that this is okay. Just saying. That's not a good look.
So narcissists are experts playing the victim plus victim blaming and projecting traits and responsibility onto others. This was a book written by this author here, and if anybody wants to look it up, it's called whatiscodependency.com. You can look up Darvo. It says, I once remarked to a violent narcissist who blamed his wife for his behavior, I'm surprised to hear your wife has that much power over you, and he was dumbfounded since his whole agenda was to gain power over her. And this is exactly what this is. A lot of these women were very afraid. Look at the response that a lot of these women are getting. Look at the response that they're getting. They're being called liars. You don't have any proof. If you don't stop this, I'm gonna expose all of these women. How dare you? So another person up here, and like I said, we're gonna stick to just the facts here. We're not mentioning anybody else, is Auggie. And she's up here to tell her story. So I'm going to switch the screen back here. Auggie, do you want the big box, babe? What do you want to do?
I'm good. I'm good. What you can do though is you can put up some of the screenshots, so I ain't got to multitask. You can download the ones that I
Absolutely,
sent
I
you. It
got you.
doesn't matter which ones. Yeah, you can put up any of them. They don't have to go in order. But yeah, so I had a really hard time with this one, and a very hard time with this one, right? And I did not know that he was doing this to women. I didn't know it. But I know that these women are telling the truth, and y'all want to know why? Because he did it to me. And I have every fucking text message that me and this guy have ever sent to each other. I had no fucking idea that he was married for nearly a fucking year. Do you know how I found out? Because he left the live one day that he was hosting, and he just had his chair there. And me and like a couple other people were joking around, and we were like, he's, doing whatever. We were talking to the chair, having fun. And then someone dropped in the comments that he was married. And the look on my face, I shit you not, was like, oh my God, because let me tell you, me and this man, we talked every fucking day about everything. We were very close. All right. I knew about his mother. I knew about his kids. I knew what he did day to day. Nothing ever happened because I didn't see him that way. And I told him I didn't see him that way. But he continued constantly to ask me for news. And my responses were always to walk him back to his friend zone. Right. But
Yeah,
this
keep going.
thing that really, really bothers me is I had nothing to do with this. I was living my fucking life. And then he fucked up because he brought my name up. He brought my name into this. And now you're going to get what you asked for, Lumberjack. Here's all my fucking text messages. How he's done all this shit to me. And he's been doing it for a long fucking time. After I've asked him to stop. After I told him I didn't want him. I was even talking to one of his friends at one point, and he knew about it. And he still asked me for messages. He still
He
asked
even
me for news.
he even says right here, well, you always have a box. You're my spirit animal, even if you don't like talking about freaky deaky things. So he's acknowledging that she is pushing him off. You're
He's
welcome. Going to
acknowledged
bed.
multiple times in our messages that I was uncomfortable. I told him I was uncomfortable over and over and over, and he still kept on. And I protected him like a fucking dumbass for some fucking reason. And I am sorry, because if I wouldn't have done that, I don't think he would have gotten out of hand. But I didn't think, really honestly, I didn't think nobody would fucking believe me. But now I know. I don't give a shit if y'all believe me or not. There's my text messages. I don't mind having a whole fucking file where y'all can read all of them yourselves.
She said,
So
I'm a
But
trans chicken.
right, you see how she's trying to deflect, but in terms of Augie and his relationship, and Augie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There was a lot of things that you told him personally about you and confided in him with. And
mhm.
and when people are placed in those trust positions and they do things like how they're doing, it creates this sense that the person who is being victimized has to respond the way that they want them to respond in order to keep some sort of peace between the two people, right?
And so,
Check your text mod.
do you also
Okay.
want to know how we came to about, like, how he came to find out that I knew about his wife? He never told me. And I kept my mouth shut because I wanted to see if he would tell me, right? Because we talk about everything, at least I thought.
Hey,
The
I'll be
reason
right back.
why, okay, the reason why I found out that he was actually married was because I went to him over another situation with one of his friends who was very angry with me, kept calling me names, specifically names that had to do with me sleeping with married men. I was so fucking confused over that. And I said, Lumberjack, can you do me one favor and just tell your friend that nothing has ever happened between me and you? And he said, why do you think that he listens to me? And I said, because he's only calling me this name because of you and your wife. And he still never admitted to me that he was married. Still till this day, he has not told me himself that he's fucking married. Okay? Still till this day, all he responded with was, he's weird. Just ignore him. That's it. He's weird. Just ignore him. So
So
still
this
till
is
this day, he's never told me he's married or separated or nothing. And I've got
Right.
my whole messages. So y'all don't fucking try to come at me and say that I'm fucking lying, because I heard y'all the other day talking about I'm a pathological fucking liar. Bitch, I got the fucking text messages, and you did this to your fucking self. You should have been acting this way.
So in the text messages, you could tell that she's attempting to deflect when he's saying, she said, I'll burn your house down. It's kind of like, hey, I need you to stay away in the nicest way possible. Then I'll come to yours. I'll make a couch for you. Here, I'm passing you on to the friend zone. Nope, your bed. Nope, you should have behaved. So she's asking him to behave himself in that manner.
Told him over and over multiple times, I'm not interested, and he didn't listen. Mama.
Let me know when you get on. Basically, let me know when you get on live. You're going to get it. Whatever. Keep Breaking Bad and see what happens. Not shit gonna happen. She explicitly tells him it here. You're going to find out. For someone who's pretty smart, you sure are wrong. I'm hardly ever wrong, only when I speak on what I know. What am I wrong about, right?
There's a couple questions. First of all, I don't mind you asking me why didn't I block him, because I genuinely thought that we were friends. I really did, for a long time. But I was a dumbass, because my friend he never ever did anything for me. Never. But he was the very first person that I actually confided in on this app. He was the person that came to find me from the content side and brought me over to the lives to do lives with him. He brought me over here, and I had a special connection to him. But recently, with the way that he has been dragging my name through the fucking mud, that's not a friend at all.
Right.
And when I found out that he was doing this to all these fucking women, yeah, you damn straight, I'm going to be the death of him.
So, again, this is talking about, and people asking, why didn't you block him? So victims respond in different ways. So a victim might, like I said, you're either going to be on the offensive or the defensive. And in a lot of those situations, a woman may, in fact, just say, she may go at him. She may block him. How dare you? Victims always respond in different situations, especially when they've been through traumatic situations. I'm not accepting any requests right now. I will get to that in a minute. Thank you, guys. This is about Lumberjack, guys, American Lumberjack, a conservative that we are holding accountable. So, like I said, these women respond in different ways. You may see that they may try to, just like when he put up those July screenshots, where you were trying to be a friend with benefits. That's not what that said. They didn't want to be friends with benefits. It wasn't like that. Like, I'm trying to create this boundary in the nicest way possible, and he's either not accepting that or finding issue with the way that the boundaries are being met, right? So again, I'm not judging the fact that he was trying to pursue someone while he was married. That is an awful thing. However, when someone is clearly trying to create a boundary and you continue to overstep that boundary, you're in the wrong. So there was a blatant disregard.
I was trying to keep my relationship, like my friendship with him. Okay. I was trying to keep my friendship with him. I was trying to turn him down in the nicest way possible. Listen, it happens a lot with men on the app. Most of them, you only have to turn down once, and then they understand that they're in the fucking friend zone, and then they stay there. You don't have to continuously walk them back.
So again, she's creating this boundary. She's moving on to something else. She was talking about in this screenshot, I think you were talking about Paul Pelosi, right? So like I said, they're not in order because we're kind of working backwards here. To look at the last comment, I want to come play with you. Again, she's deflecting, trying to deflect out. Not sure what was said in the messages. Augie, you can speak to that.
Yeah, like I was trying to do what he wanted me to do. When he came to get me to start doing lives with him, it was to plan them. It was to bring forth content for that. Okay, and that's exactly what I was trying to do. And so every time that he would like try his like shit, I would try to just change the fucking subject over and over and over until he would finally understand it. But I was very clear, and this was constant, constant. This was they tried to handle this off the app, just so everybody's aware.
Here's a petty moment. He's telling people to kick out of the Marcus and Macho, but we'll get to that. That's not relevant at this moment in time. Sorry. Oh, here it is.
Hey, Maud,
It was the other day when
Maud, before you continue.
Mhm.
In the last live that Maud held, she gave the person 1 hour from the start of the live to contact her, and then this would be handled off the app, okay? So again, in my screenshot that I showed in my text message, Lumberjack said, I never called Bougie a groupie. Bougie is awesome. So I'm sure at that point he knew it was about him. So he had all of that time to contact Maud. He did not do that. Instead, what he did is he got up in the box and tried to control the narrative and intimidate the people in the box. And also, let me also just preface that prior to this happening, okay, he said he actually was hoping Shanna was going to get up in the box. And he said, Shanna or anybody else that says my name, I'm going to sue them for defamation. Okay, so he threatened a lawsuit off the gate, right? So he already started trying to intimidate prior to. The interesting thing is you can't sue somebody for defamation if it's true. Weird.
I just ruined that fucking narrative, buddy. Don't stay on this screenshot for too long because people will get the wrong message. The next part shows that I never sent him nudes. It kind of looked like I was going to send him nudes, but the next one shows that I never fucking did.
Yep, I thought I was going to get lucky, and you were talking naughty today. I was in a good mood. My phone was overheating. You're freaky deaky. You may have been trying to hide from me. You need to get the chiller. I legit broke one, and I legit bought one, and it broke. Which one? I have this one.
So what happened that day was we were in a fucking, we were in a live, and I started talking shit. I was in a good mood. This was a very, very fucking public thing. A very public thing, okay? And I don't even remember exactly what I was saying, but I was popping off. I was popping off at the fucking mouth, okay? And that's what he means by freaky deaky. This was not something that was private. This was about a fucking live that we held. And then if you look at the fucking timestamps on the next one, I believe there's like an hour and a half to 2 hours where I don't even respond to him. He was asking me where I went, and because I was uncomfortable, I didn't fucking speak to him. I actually called somebody else and started talking on the phone with them about it. It might not be this one. It might be another one. But it's coming up.
Yeah, so
there was like a time period.
Right, so the phone overheating, and then he was sending her that, and she's talking about putting something on her phone to chill the phone because it overheated. So that was the next message. So again, she's deflecting to someone else.
And I actually lied about that, by the way. I actually lied and told him that my phone overheated.
Here we go. Where are the white women at? What's up? Nothing. Just wondering what you're doing. I'm tired, but I'm good. Are you getting online tonight? I miss you, goofy ass. Not as much as I miss you. You are my TikTok wife. I'm purposing, haha. I will be on.
Keep going. Read the next one. Read the next one.
Gotcha.
About this whole TikTok wife thing. Go ahead and read it, because it gets funny. Keep in mind, I did not know he had a wife at this point. That comes later. Let Ragnar talk shit. He's the one that left without hearing me out, and that shows me exactly where the fuck we stand.
Mm-hmm.
So show the next one. This is all about him being a TikTok wife, and I still, at this point, did not know that he was fucking married. And I told him straight up, I have not accepted your TikTok proposal yet, bruh.